Yo, what's poppin', guys? You got your boy Nandra here. Welcome to another video. So as you can see from the mask score at the top, yep, we did it, baby. We hit Grandmaster for the third set in a row. Initially I didn't think I was going to do it, or sorry, I didn't think I was going to hit it, at least not this month, because I've had a lot of struggles this month, and I'll probably have some more struggles next month. But I got to like 4,500 within like the first week. So you might be wondering, well, why did it take you so long? Well, I got tilted during chest event. Not so much because of chest event in and of itself, but kind of like a compounding factor from one of the games I had, just because like in unrefined metas, especially in Shadowverse, people play greedy and unrealistic things. And I got tilted from one such game and kind of just like didn't play ladder at all. Like I would only play ladder if I was like absolutely forced to be, just because I got like a win 4 or something like that. Anyway, so from there, I then also had like problems with my phone, and also couldn't play for a while because of that. I only really started like playing playing like on ladder about like a week ago. And then from there, like I had a 12-game win streak, which brought me from like 4,500 up to 6,700. Yeah, like obviously I won some games in the process, but then like the next day I lost half of those points and was like, oh my god, okay, well, not like this. So like from there, I kind of, I did some like soul searching, went around and like asked people for like things to play, and then I was reminded of like Old Priest Bloodless, which is why you've been seeing me play. Which I've been like seeing the last like I don't know, like 3 or 4 videos be that of me playing Control Blood. This video will be different because I unfortunately for me, like after I finished playing for the day or whatever and got Grandmaster, I had been playing for 8 hours. Like I started around like 8 a.m. I played up until about like 5 p.m. And then from there, I was just like, kind of like, got too tired, like, cause like some of the repetition, like it was finally catching up to me. And I was like, okay, well, too much thank you for the day. But let me go ahead and just, not play Shadowverse. And I forgot that the update was today, and I forgot that on updates, they go ahead and they delete your replays as seen here. So unfortunately, I don't actually have the replays for you guys of what happened in my Grandmaster trials. However, I said what I was going to do instead is I'll go ahead and I'll quickly try to talk about like each of the decks I use, like each of the stages for that I used to climb up to 4,500, that I used to get to like 6,700, and that I used to ultimately get to GM. I'll go ahead and try to like cover what each of these decks do, and I'll go ahead and I'll even talk about like what I think about the metagame as a whole. The video is probably gonna be about like, I don't know, like 35 minutes long or something like that, and there'll probably be a part 2. But anyway, so we're also gonna go to Decklists. So I'll go ahead and start off with Dragon first. For those of you who know, start of expansion, of course I'm gonna like play Dragon like immediately, and I did. This is the Dragon list I was using at the time. Alright, so it's fairly standard. The only things that have like really changed are like the whole well, I'm playing Tortoise. Very few people play Elder Tortoise. It's one of those things that's more like, a non-Juro sort of tech. The 3 Blazesmith as well. I was only playing 3 Blazesmith just because I expected like creatures and like aggro or whatever, but largely there's like no aggro really. And the only other deck that you would like want Blazesmith for is maybe see Daria, and that's about it. And then the exclusion of Singers as well. But yeah, like the deck was like pretty like evenly tech to deal with like most things. Like you have like answers to both control, aggro, and like mid range, as well as like control. Oh, sorry, as well as like combo as well. It was pretty solid. Like just because like I didn't really have to do any like brainstorming or anything like that. It's just oh well, I know what all of these cards do, and these all work. I also use this list, Dragon Ravine, aka Dragon Canyon. Like it's pretty solid. I'm pretty sure it's very close to what one of the many net decks for the list looks like. And then lastly, I use Partak's Saha Queen list. Yep. All right. So from there, I also did play some Forest for a little bit as well. This is one of the like lists I used. And then ultimately Ult Freeze Blood list, as well as the rank 3 control blood list, which I started with this list first before ultimately going back to Old Priest list, just because I felt like his list felt like a little bit more how do I word this? It felt a little bit more solid to some extent, because like this list, like it has some slight issues of, well, I don't really like Wardrobe Raider, and and I didn't really like Mask of Black Death that much either, or at least not in like that sort of list. Yep, here's Old Priest list. However, as you can see from the deck roulette, which still have my last played, you'll notice that like it's not Control Blip I was playing. I was actually playing Portalcraft. So this is the list that I used to get into the complete trials. The reason why I switched is because like when I first started my climb for the 8 hours or whatever, there was like no Daria on ladder, and then like towards the end of my climb, it was just Daria after Daria after Daria. Like it's really difficult to deal with Daria, especially on like that sort of deck. Like you can kind of do it, but you're more so contingent on having them have like a late start, but before they go off. So this way you have enough mana to go ahead and deal with everything, and just kind of relying on the fact of, oh, maybe you get some chip damage in it, and you get to play spawn on 8. Generally versus Daria, being allowed to play spawn should never happen. Should never happen at all. But if you can do that, it's safe to say that you probably won that game. Yeah. So this is the Portalcraft deck I'm using. As you can see from the title, it's JCG Portal. It's a deck that I don't think it won JCG. I think it got like 3rd place in JCG. And it's pretty solid. I'll definitely go ahead and probably talk more about this in depth, but not today. What I will say about the deck is that basically how you win is just go ahead and you tempo people out, and then you aim to copy a lot of radiant artifacts using biofabrication. Oh my god, I'm sorry, that's such a mouthful. So this way you just have like a billion 4/3 storm dudes that also gain you back mana and draw you cards, and you just get to play a lot of like really good stuff, and you just get to like kind of bamboozle your opponent, especially with accelerating them as well. This list was like really solid. Thankfully, I was able to practice it with my boy Kevma last night, so shout outs to him, as well as shout outs to Old Prefect for the Control Blood list. And it was pretty solid. I really wanted to trade against the games, because like this, because Portalcraft also is actually a lot better versus Dragon now that you won't lose your amulets to Bahamut. Like specifically just because the only answer that Portalcraft had like somewhat difficulties dealing with, it was Bahamut in and of itself. Whereas like everything else that the Dragon player played, you can just go ahead and just kill it with Acceleratiums or Otherworld Rift or whatever. But now there's like no like immediate, but now there's no like forced pressure on the Portalcraft player to always have the Otherworld Rift when your opponent drops the Baja. Like now you can just like kill it with Acceleratium and you'll just be fine. Yeah. So now I'll go ahead and talk quickly about the meta. So for the most part, I felt like there was a lot of like diversity, like, well, with the exception of Daria being just a tiny bit too popular. I pretty much saw like almost every single class represented almost or near evenly on ladder. I think the only exception is I didn't really see that many Shadowcraft players. But I think that's largely just because like a lot of people are still trying to get used to playing Big Shadow or Reanimator Shadow, because as you can see, for a lot of other people playing it, it seems very difficult for them to actually like play it correctly. The same thing with Portalcraft as well, because a lot of people are still under the illusion that Portalcraft doesn't mean, despite Portalcraft making like numerous like top 3 placings in JCG recently. For Rune, like I felt like Rune was the most popular just because like I see a lot of different Rune decks right now. Yes, the majority of it is Daria. However, I still see Burn Dirt. I saw some Ginger. Ginger is also a big one because Ginger actually it's been topping a few events recently. I saw Control Rune. The Control Rune was kind of interesting because like it seems like it kind of tries to win by just like playing Silverblade Golem and just having a lot of like Verdict Rituals in hand, so you can use to control the board or go face if you need to. There's also the version that plays it to OTK you by playing out multiple copies of Mysteria Magic Founder. So this way it makes the Verdict Rituals drastically spike in damage. Like, so each Verdict Ritual does 3 damage, right? But if you play Mysteria, now each Verdict Ritual does 4 damage. So if you have 2 rituals, that's 4 mana for 8 damage. if you play 2 Mysterious, that now means that each Verdict Ritual does 5 damage. Even if you only get on average the 2 sigils, the two Verdict Rituals, that's still 4 mana for 10 damage. That's a lot, especially with the class that also has Master Mage Levi, which just happens to, you know, incidentally do bear damage while he's like clearing the board. So I saw that deck, that was pretty cool. I also saw for Dragon, I saw mainly just Canyon players, although there's also another like weird net deck that's like going around. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a net deck because I faced the deck like twice, or like either 2 or 3 times. But there's some people that are playing Carrots as well as Basilisk, right? I'm not really sure what that's about, but I definitely know that the deck has Sahawkwill as well. So I'm assuming it's a Canyon deck of some sort. I'm not, or sorry, not Canyon. I'm assuming it's a Tilting at Windmills deck of some sort. But I'm not really sure quite what the story is behind that one. For Sword, you mainly just see people trying to play like the fatigue style, like Control Sword, or just, you know, Concede Sword. You also see people still playing Arthur. Not as many Arthur players though, just because like Arthur kind of got sidelined by the whole newfound love for Roland, because like right now, like this is the type of metagame that Sword has wanted for like a while, just because like the majority of Sword cards are actually printed towards like a slower format. So now that we're in a slower format, a lot of these cards are getting to shine. For Forest is actually another very surprising thing, because like there's a lot of diversity there, which I guess is not really that surprising when you consider that Rhinoceros Roach is finally rotated out. There's Aggro Forest, there's Tempo Forest. Like the Tempo Forest usually plays like Fita, and then they try to get like a billion buffs on the Fita and whatnot, and also like play like Aperia as well as Sparrow Driver to kill you when you kind of like run out of things to do, because Aperia drew them like two or 3 cards while being buffed in and of itself. Then there's also Elephant Forest. Usually people who are playing Elephant Forest use like Loki, and then just kind of like hit you for 20, because, you know, wolf, haha, balance, haha. What else? There's also B&B Forest. B&B Forest is another it's not really surprising when you think about it. Like it deals very well with Daria, just because you have Elf Twins Assault. Elf Twins Assault can usually deal like on average like 3 damage to up to like say 6 or 7 damage, and that's usually enough to kill any creature that the Daria player would make. And you get to kill 2 of them at once, which is very nice, and all for the low cost of 2 mana. And then you also have Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is too big for the Daria player to handle. If you can drop Beauty and the Beast before the Daria player can drop their nut, nut with you with like, you know, 4 creatures at once, you're probably gonna win that game, because as long as you hit them for 2 at any point in time, then the Daria player, they have to respect the Ariette, and they just kind of get to win. Then there's also the hybrid that has White Wolf of Elderwood in it, as well as like Elephant. So this way, even if you're Beauty and the Beast dies, because Beauty and the Beast, while both being the strongest card in that deck, is also surprisingly or amusingly the weakest one, because when it dies, that was your best card. You have nothing left. But now with the Elephant, you can go ahead and just, 2 turns later, well, you thought I didn't have an elephant in my deck, but you thought I didn't have a wolf in my deck, but I have a wolf in my deck, and now I have an elephant, and now you're going to die. Just because like you still have Ariette and whatnot, so the elephant just kind of, you know, come out and deal either like 16 to like 20 damage to you, and just like, oh well, okay, that happened. Next game, please. But overall, like, and then for Blood, for those of you who are wondering, for Blood, what's currently going on with them is that they're playing like the aggro, they're playing like the neutral aggro Blood, but it's a little bit different than what it was in the past, because like now you mainly just rely on the PCAT to like roll 4 and whatnot. I've actually seen some lists that actually like play like pretty much just like 31 neutrals, and then just 3 PCAT, maybe 3 PCAT, 3 Razor Claw, and maybe like some number of Baphomets, and maybe like some copies of Savage Wolf. So this way, the Phantom Cat can almost assuredly roll 4 every single time it comes down. Like 6 mana, draw 4, develop a 5/5 is very strong tempo. and usually just kind of get burned out. But yeah, like as a whole, like the meta felt like pretty good. I don't really feel like anything is like too like over centralizing. I know a lot of people initially thought that Dragon Canyon is the most like is the most like over centralizing, but like to be honest with you, you can beat the Dragon Canyon with a lot of things. Like for example, I think Portalcraft does very well. Yeah, very well versus it. Daria Nut Draws obviously do very well versus it, and you also have Forced as well. I think the class that I think the class that I saw the most of, but despite seeing the most of it, it didn't do as well, was Haven. Now, granted, that might be because of what I was playing, which was Spawn, but you know, like, I feel like Haven is currently having like a bad time on ladder right now. I'm not quite sure what that is, and I'm not quite sure what the reason behind that is. But it's definitely sort of interesting. I definitely probably look forward to tackling that challenge maybe today actually. But yeah, like this overall, this is a pretty good metagame. Like yes, there were some cards that need to be nerfed, and now we have the nerfs that have happened. It definitely made some things easier. I actually want to go ahead and take the time to quickly cover the Bahamut change in particular. So the Bahamut change is one of those, like, yes, it kind of like paved the way for Windmills, but let me clarify something. Like Windmills was always a deck you could play that some people were in fact playing before then. It just wasn't mainstream, and that's usually the difference between between many things really, but in particular between whether or not you will or won't like complain about a deck, like, is whether or not it's mainstream. Like for example, when Atomy wasn't mainstream, no one cared about it at all. Like it's just one of those you just kind of, you know, you laugh it off or whatever. You're like, oh, okay, well I got high rolled or whatever. But then when it was mainstream, like it was, well, he played Atomy and he's getting to draw 6 cards because he blew up 2 staircases in the process. GG me. But yeah, like the Bahamut change that definitely, you know, shook things up. It only being a 9/9 is actually like, you wouldn't, okay, so even though 4 damage doesn't seem like a lot, 4 damage is actually a lot. Like there are some games where now, like, if your opponent plays Bahamut, you don't have to worry about dying. Like you only have to worry about dying to like a queen combo, like, because like it changes the calc. So it's like now the most maximum reach that they can have is 18. Well, 18 or 20. Like, and that's only in unlimited and only from 2 cards. Like, and that would have to be both a Genesis Dragon evolved and the Bahamut itself evolved, and of course for you to somehow not play 2 creatures to block the Baha shot in the first place. Yeah, just really crazy changes, but definitely the Portalcraft is probably going to shine from it. It's already starting to shine from it already, and yeah. So I'll definitely go ahead and try to show you some gameplay with the Portalcraft deck that's on the roulette. I'll probably do it, I don't know, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, probably tomorrow though. And yeah, the last thing. I know a lot of you guys. Well, I know a lot of the people who like know me on Discord or whatever. A lot of you guys have been asking, okay, well, Nandra, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for next month? For next month, I may either try to get GM in Unlimited. Granted, getting GM in Unlimited is whatever, because like I believe you only get the 10 free packs or whatever once. So it's mainly just gonna be a, oh well, I did it, so here you go, like kind of, you know, like bragging rights. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm definitely gonna like take more time to go ahead and just, you know, play a lot of like wacky things. Well, I say wacky, but let me clarify that like wacky for me just means that like it's like off meta, but it definitely obviously works. So for example, one such thing I'm gonna be playing with is I'm gonna be playing with Mono Dragon, which is a dragon deck that will not be using any neutrals. I think the most neutrals it'll be using is maybe say just Bahamut, and I think that'll be about it. The other thing I'm planning on playing is Diabolus Sima, aka Diablo. And lastly, to go ahead and try to figure out the Havencraft thing, because I'm pretty sure you could probably just like make Stormhaven work again. Yes, I did in fact just say Stormhaven, and most likely what will happen is I'll just be using the Heavenly Knights, so probably like some version of Summit, but yeah. So that's like my video write up. Again, really sorry I couldn't show you guys the games because these games are funny, like so funny. I was able to beat Dragon on turn 6 as Portal comes out. That was funny. Well, at least to me, obviously. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, go and leave a like, go and hit the subscribe, and if you haven't, let me know what it is that you guys might want me to play. If you have a deck list for it, all the better. And to be quite honest with you, if you have the deck list, I'll probably actually go ahead and play it. It may take, like, depending on how many people like put up things for me to play, it may take me a while to get to all of them, but I will try to get to all of them, and probably before the end of February. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.